Happy Wednesday. Keith Tebow with you, and time for our weekly sit down with the mayor of the city of Fall River, Mayor Paul Coogan. Mayor, how are you today?
Doing well, Keith.
Thanks for joining me as always. I want to start with some school issues. The school committee this week, earlier this year, voted to take the interim tag off Superintendent of Schools Maria Ponce. This week, the school committee negotiated a contract for the superintendent, which is a 4-year contract. Just give us an update on how you felt the superintendent deserved this new contract and how she's been faring for the city.
Well, obviously, I think the superintendent's doing a great job. She entered into the position, obviously when the schools were coming out of the cloud, and she's done a bang up job for us. Her experience both in the private schools, the public schools, and you know, elementary, middle, high, and her curriculum work, I think, position her well to be a success in that position. I just don't see how her connections to Fall River won't help her to be successful as the next superintendent of schools in Fall River. She got a good demeanor. She has a good way with people, and she knows where things are, which is very, very important to be a superintendent in Fall River.
I know I've asked you this before, but is this, a way to sort of calm the ship, as you will? Obviously, there was issues with the former superintendent, and it seems like things have stabilized, definitely in the school department.
Well, absolutely. I mean, believe it or not, that's what we were looking for with the last superintendent. But how did that work out? Maria's come in and she's really changed the climate and done a great job bringing people to the table and rallying around our children, which is what it's all about, the kids, obviously. So again, I'm very pleased, and I know she's going to do a great job for us.
Also, this week, the school committee voted to send forward to you the school department budget for fiscal year 2023. I know we've talked about this before. A lot of opportunities here for the city with an increase in funds from the state and also the money coming from the federal government. And, getting back to the superintendent, she's done a good job managing this. And, again, talk about those opportunities that lay before the school department.
We've never had a financial windfall like this ever in the Fall River public school system. And again, it's making up for years and years of shortages. I think we have almost $80 million in new funds coming in with the guarantee of at least a $10 million increase for the next 4 or 5 years. It's really great for the entire school system, especially for the students, the staff, the families. We can do a lot of good work to make the schools better for all of our kids. I really want to focus on some curriculum strengthening, obviously facilities, and making sure we can keep and retain good teachers. That's what we have to put this money towards, and again, addressing the needs for kids across every district, across our district, and across every school. I mean, that's what we're going to be focused on. I think it's going to be a good time to be a student in the city of Fall River.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, shifting gears now to other news from last week, primarily, again, from the police department. Again, not very good news for the city. It was reported that some police logs, which, again, was used to keep track of drug paraphernalia and the like, has been missing. The interim chief, Chief Garvin, addressed it last week. What do you know about the situation, and what's going to be happening moving forward to, one, find out what happened, and two, make sure it doesn't happen again?
Well, obviously, I believe the policies had already been changed for that division going forward. Some of them were a little antiquated, and now they've been updated to the point where everything's going to be on a JPEG or on a computer, so that everything's kept electronically. At the same time, obviously, things missing in a police department is always very, very concerning, because that involves evidence and cases. And I really hope that the district attorney and the investigative team he's putting in place to check this out, come to the bottom. I'll get to the bottom of what happened here. But with another new police chief, it's something we have to go through so that people can then regain confidence in the Fall River Police Department. I've always had confidence in the guys and the work they do on the streets, But it seems like some of these managerial options have, not been properly addressed. And going forward, I'm sure that Acting Chief Gorvin knows what to do, knows how to arrange the department in an orderly manner so that people have confidence on what they're doing and get people to buy in to being the face of the city of Fall River. Our police department really are. They're out there every day. They interact with the public across every neighborhood in the city every day, and they have to have confidence that the people they are talking to, our police, have their number one interest in mind and how to help those people. I think that that's what we're working towards, and I think that that's what we're going to get there. That's what we have to do. But this process of trying to clean up, whether it's a policeman that acted inappropriately, missing logs, or something along the lines of someone just not doing their job, we have to address it. We have to make sure the public knows that it has been addressed and that going forward, it's not going to happen again.
Yeah, absolutely. Last night at the Fall River City Council meeting, there was a discussion concerning a proposal by City Council Linda Pereira, but actually you're taking the lead on this, creating a Veterans Advisory Council. There were a few veterans that spoke during citizen input about their displeasure over Veteran Services Officer Michaela Brito and the work she has done since she's been on board less than a year. What do you know about this situation, I guess, and how will this advisory council work to hopefully smooth some things over, which there may be some tension right now between veterans and the VSO?
Well, again, look at what we have here. We have a number of veterans organizations in the city of Fall River. We have a range from disabled veterans to Vietnam veterans, and I believe they should all be working together. If there is a problem with service delivery and the veteran service officer, it has not come to my desk. I don't have a letter. I do have some letters from the veterans group now, but there hasn't been people coming up here saying, well, we didn't get a check or this didn't happen right. It's been a bunch of conflicts going on, and I hate getting in the middle of this. These are veterans. These are the people that gave us our country. They should be working together on this, and I'm sure, obviously, our city administrator, Seth Aiken's a veteran, and he knows full well how much people sacrificed to be a veteran. But with that being said, he's trying now with our committee and the work of the veterans to bring this group together. It's very, very important that we all get on the same page. We all work together to make sure our veterans are protected, they're rightfully honored, and that we make sure they get the benefits they deserve. That's the whole ball game right there. We have Memorial Day coming up. We have things planned. We want them all to participate. We want everyone to just make sure we're on the same page and that the veterans are front and center. Those individual veterans, the ones that need our support, that need to work with us to make Fall River a better place to live. And I'm sure we'll get there. I just know it's going to take a little fence mending, but we'll get to it. It's something we have to work on, and we're fully prepared to do that.
It appears some of this arose over the planning of the Memorial Day Parade. Again, what some veterans had mentioned last night was usually the Veterans War Council takes charge of organizing the parade. Apparently, the Veteran Services Officer feels that it should be, more under her purview. Is that maybe what may have sparked some of this? That maybe an individual, disagreement over even the parade?
It was actually simmering for a long time. Little disagreements. I think they should work together on the parade. I think they should be in the conference room up in my office saying, who's going to be the fourth float? Where's the fifth band going to be? I don't think that there should be conflict over honoring the people that gave us this country. And I just, I do know that personalities pop up no matter what side you're on, but people have to understand that that's not the time for that. It's the time to honor the people that gave us the country. And I'm not going to get off that message. It's got to be a joint effort. They have to work together, and that's all we can do. I just, like I said, it's one of the pieces of the job that makes you wonder what we can do better to help our veterans, and I'm gonna try to do everything I can to fix it.
And you hope that this advisory council will do that, right? Getting them all
Right,
at the table to get
right,
people talking. That's the important
right.
thing, right?
Talking about
Yeah.
what's being said at the table. What are people coming forward with with to make sure that this can be addressed? If I go to Keith up at BCC and I tell you the door is locked every day when I come to go to class from 3 to 4, and your solution is let me talk to the administration, and I get the door open from 3 to 4, that's a problem. It's identifiable. It's fixed. That's what we want to do here. We want to make sure we know what the problem is and how we go about fixing it, so that people can get what they need to do to get what they need to get where they need to be, and to make the veterans more comfortable. That's it in a nutshell. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all we're talking about here. We have to find a way to work together.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We are in spring, and I know beginning next week, there's going to be a couple of cleanups. You and your office, working with a number of local organizations, have sponsored some cleanups, and we have a couple, I believe, next Friday and Saturday. So
Right.
wait for people to get involved.
Yeah, we'll be out on the streets trying to get some of this litter up. I talked to the sheriff last week about having his vandalism sprayer, graffiti remover over here helping in the city, and we're trying to get some things done. We'd like the city to look good this summer. I do see some encouraging signs. At the same time, I see some areas that need a ton of attention, and we'll be marking those out this week while we get ready for April 22nd and the 23rd. We can use everybody's support on this. And if you want to pitch in and pick up a quarter of a bag, a half a bag, or a full bag of trash, you'll make Fall River look better, and it's going to be an asset to our community. So we'll be looking for help all week, and hopefully next week it'll start on Friday at 1 o'clock out here at City Hall Plaza, and we'll see you then.
All right. I do want to end, unfortunately, on a very sad note. The passing of Election Commission Chairwoman Kelly Souza Young. She has been battling cancer for quite some time. I know you've had a lot of interactions with her. Definitely a sad moment for Government Center, and definitely a big loss for the city.
And it most certainly is. We had a little fundraiser for her at Don Carlos Club. Allison, our city clerk, and Ann up here worked together to raise some funds for her. I know all of her kids. It's really sad. We'll be there tonight at 4:30 at South Coast Funeral Home. I hope our elected officials join me in paying a homage to her. She's just a good person, and she did a great job for us. And it's going to be a huge loss. I already miss her.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Mayor Coogan, as always, thank you. Have a happy Easter, and we'll talk again next week. I appreciate
Same
it.
to everybody. Thanks, Keith.
All right, take care. And thank you for joining us here in FRC Media. I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great week.